Walk into almost any city today and you'll see it. Cartoon cups, pastel colors, and the promise of something fun. Some call it bubble tea, some call it boba, or milk tea. You'll see people lining up with their phones out, ready to pay 6, 7, or even $8 for a plastic cup filled with tea, milk, sugar, and some chewy tapioca pearls. And it looks like a simple drink, but it's evolved to an entire consumer machine. And once you take a step back, you see how something as small as boba ties into your wallet, your health, and even the global economy. So today, we are talking about boba, how something so small and now even normal in our daily lives has been mixed with consumerism and overconsumption while making you feel like it's all for joy. First, to understand all of this, we have to go back. Bubble tea didn't begin as the global juggernaut we see it today. It started in Taiwan in 1980s, and the story goes that a tea shop owner experimented by pouring tapioca balls into iced milk tea. And customers loved the mix of textures, and what began as a playful local snack quickly caught on, and by the 1990s, spread across Taiwan and neighboring countries. And by the 2000s, the drink crossed the Pacific, and at first it was something you found only in Chinatown or college towns. But word spread fast. Social media gave it a boost. Photos of colorful cups with white straws stood out on Instagram, and soon, bubble tea shops appeared in malls, city centers, and suburban plazas. And really, just every block in your local neighborhood. And today, the global bubble tea market is worth more than $3 billion, and analysts expect it to double in the next decade. Chains like Gongcha and Tiger Sugar have expanded worldwide. Mixue, a Chinese drink brand that sells milk tea for under $1, has more than 30,000 locations and even filed for an IPO in Hong Kong. And it's because investors are seeing boba as the next Starbucks, not just a drink, but a cultural product that can be scaled endlessly. But the price, it shifts depending on where you are. In Taiwan, boba is still considered a cheap street food snack. But the thing is, in the United States, it's now a $7 luxury snack. And as much as it's about business, it's also psychology and the ingredients in the cup. Tea provides caffeine, sugar delivers dopamine, and together they create this feel-good buzz without the harsh crash of coffee or energy drinks. And then there are pearls, kind of like gum. Chewing them slows you down and the drink lasts longer. And it keeps your brain engaged. Bubble tea is a drink and really also an activity. Your mind learns to crave this ritual, the texture, the sweetness, the satisfaction of holding that colorful cup. And shops use this psychology to their advantage. They offer customization, you choose the tea, the sugar level, the milk, and the toppings, and it feels empowering, but it's also a way to upsell you. Extra toppings, flavored syrups, larger sizes. Every choice increases the margin for the shop, and the illusion of control keeps you coming back for more. And it's all about making you think that you're making these unique decisions, when in reality, you're just being guided to spend more. And behavioral economists call this choice architecture. It's the same idea as Chipotle or Starbucks. By framing your decision in a certain way and giving you the illusion of choice, businesses nudge you towards spending without you even noticing. It's the same trick fast food chains use with combo meals, even though all the ingredients are really the same. And psychology is only half the story, and the other half is marketing, and they go hand in hand. Boba shops lean into cuteness, smiling mascots, pastel colors, and heart-shaped straws. And it feels playful or even harmless. But the thing is, it's all deliberate, and the design appeals directly to Gen Z and Millennials who grew up with Hello Kitty, Pokemon, anime, and cartoon mascots. And the cup itself becomes part of the experience. You don't just drink it, you take a photo, post it online, and share it with your friends. And suddenly, the drink is a treat, and it's also a part of your identity. And companies are fully aware of this, so they spend heavily on branding, packaging, and social media campaigns. And the strategy starts even earlier for kids. They use bright colors, cartoon logos, making bubble tea look like candy. It's basically the same strategy as cereal. And by the time you're a teenager or an adult, the brand already feels familiar, like part of your routine. And that early exposure, it sticks with you. You're now participating in a lifestyle that companies sold to you long before you even realized it. And this isn't unique to bubble tea. Coca-Cola branded itself as happiness. Starbucks turned coffee into an accessory. And now, bubble tea fits nearly into that same playbook. As colorful and tasty boba is, this is where bubble tea stops being cute and starts hitting your wallet. Let's say you buy two drinks a week at $7 a pop. That is $60 a month, which might not sound like much, but that is more than $700 a year. Add in delivery apps and the number rises even higher. A $7 drink becomes 12 or even $15 once you pay service fees, delivery charges, and tips. And it becomes a huge problem. And the thing is, the costs aren't just financial. A standard 16-ounce milk tea with tapioca pearls has around 200 to 300 calories and more than 40 grams of sugar. And that's the same as a can of Coke. Add flavored syrups, jellies, or a larger size, and the sugar content jumps even higher. The American Heart Association recommends no more than 25 grams of sugar a day for women and 36 grams for men. And a single boba drink often exceeds that in one sitting. Health experts link high sugar intake to obesity, diabetes, and heart disease. In the US, treating diabetes alone costs more than 300 billion annually. And environmentally, each drink uses a plastic cup, a plastic lid, and a wide straw. And multiply that by millions of daily drinks, and you get mountains of waste. And at this point, you can see that bubble tea is more than sugar and caffeine. You crave it because companies engineered it to hit your brain's reward system. And you buy it because the culture around you makes it feel normal. And you share it because companies framed it as an identity. And in the process, you spend thousands of dollars and create waste that outlives you. And of course, there's another layer to it. Bubble tea thrives because of the economy we live in. Housing feels out of reach, wages stay flat, and all the big items, college tuition, homeownership, healthcare, it feels impossible. And so many people reach out for the small things that they can afford. A $7 drink feels like joy in a cup. It's a tiny drink that makes a hard day feel just a little bit better. And that is completely understandable. But it also keeps you in a cycle where your disposable income flows to corporations while your long-term wealth slips away. And economists call this the lipstick effect. When people can't afford big luxuries, they buy smaller ones. Lipstick during a recession, fancy coffee during wage stagnation, bubble tea during inflation. It's a way to cope, but it also locks you into consumer patterns that don't deserve your financial future. So what's the solution behind all of this? You don't need to quit bubble tea forever, but you do need moderation and boundaries. And the problem is that most of us live in the short term. We are programmed to think about the next 5 minutes, the sugar rush, the quick hit of happiness, and not the next 5 years. And that is why junk food, soda, and yes, boba feels so tempting, but the drink always ends. And when the cup is empty, you just fall back into reality. And here's some perspective. Americans spend about $1,500 a month on non-essential items. That is $18,000 a year. And sure, not all of that is bubble tea, but if you redirected even a small part of that into investments, it could turn to millions over a lifetime. Or take a smaller example. If you invested $2,500 a year, which is about a daily boba habit, into an index fund earning 7% in 30 years, you would have $250,000. $250,000 gone because you chose tapioca pearls over compound interest. And this isn't about guilt, it's about trade-offs. Every dollar you spend on boba is a dollar that isn't building your future, and instead, it's building corporate profits. You can also try making bubble tea at home. A $10 bag of tapioca pearls lasts weeks. Tea bags cost pennies, and homemade versions bring the price down to under $1 per serving. And you can also reframe the whole ritual. Invite friends over, make drinks together, and skip the $7 price tag. Or set a fun drink allowance each month. You can do this pretty easily in most budgeting apps like SoFi or Wealthfront. And that way, you still enjoy it without the guilt or surprise when you check your bank accounts. The point isn't to strip away your happiness or joy, it's to make sure your joy doesn't control your finances. And to wrap this up, bubble tea started out as a playful experiment in Taiwan. And now it's a global industry worth billions. It taps into psychology, culture, and identity, and it costs you money, health, and adds to environmental waste. But it also tells a bigger story about consumerism today. We live in a world where companies turn small pleasures into billion-dollar markets, where your daily habits are now connected to this global system, and where every purchase reflects what you value. So the next time you order bubble tea or boba, do ask yourself, do you want the drink or do you want the feeling company sold you? And that's the difference between enjoying it on your terms and letting it drain your wallet. Boba, bubble tea, milk tea, I love it, and you probably do too. But it's also a business, and there's nothing wrong or evil with it, but it's worth noticing how it affects your life and really your wallet. At the end of the day, it's capitalism, consumerism, and overconsumption. And that's it. Let me know what you think about boba and this consumer culture we live in that's quietly draining our lives and wallets in the comments below. And if you enjoy videos like this blend of consumerism, pop culture, and finance, please leave a like and subscribe so you don't miss out on any other videos. Thank you very much for watching. And if we zoom out, it's not just boba. We live in a world where everything has sugar in it. So check out the next video on how sugar became the cornerstone of every processed food and how understanding its financial and psychological costs might just save you thousands.